Welcome back to CNET's live coverage of CES 2015. I'm Bridget Carey here with Jeff Bakalar, and we're coming to you from the CNET stage at the South Hall of the Las Vegas Convention Center.
This is the second day. The show floor is open to the public. We're getting more hands-on time with products, and I've also seen a few interesting headlines popping up late yesterday.
Headlines that include Palm.
Palm's back.
Palm can't stay away from CES.
Palm lives at CES, dies at CES, and gets resurrected at CES. That's how it works.
Yeah, because TCL announced that they want to bring back Palm in some form or fashion. They haven't said what. They actually bought the name Palm, and
it was on sale.
Yeah, it was on sale along with WebOS. LG grabbed the WebOS operating system for their televisions.
It's in the checkout aisle. It's just right there for the picking.
And now TCL is saying, you know what? Get ready. We're going to see what we're going to do with it, and we're going to open it up to people's opinions on what they want to see, because Palm has a lot of emotional baggage. It knows people care a lot about that name, and they want to do something with it.
It's been through a lot, that brand, and it's interesting that even after all it's been through, there's some willing party to be like, oh, I'll take a bet with that.
Right.
I'll see where that gets me. and I like that they're sort of like crowdsourcing its legacy. They're like, all right, let's see what you want.
Yeah, Palm has to be something, though, in your handheld, so
sure.
It can't be anything else.
You can't wear anything unless it's on your hand. It's got to be
Face
some
palm.
Face palm.
Face palm.
I like that.
All right. Well, Intel also had a lot of crazy, weird tech at its announcement keynote last night. Among them, lots of gesture controls, facial recognition software going to a new level, and new chips to put in future wearables that are so tiny they have just a small circular battery that can go into rings. It's so small. So Intel's always one. If you checked out their booth, they always are encouraging people to invent new things with their chips, because they've been trying to get into wearables fast because they were late into the game, and now they're just rushing in full speed with all sorts of different things you can wear. But I would say at the presentation they had this jacket that can help the blind sense what's around them, because there are cameras on them. Now, they showed a lot of things you could do with these cameras, and one of them was put it on a jacket, and the jacket is essentially seeing that you're near me, and it's going to give me a little vibration to know, hey, someone's getting close to this side of you.
Right.
So that's pretty fascinating.
It's amazing. It's like the first time I've seen something. I mean, there hasn't been a lot of technology in that specific sort of department, and it really is potentially game-changing for that specific use case. So it's kind of fantastic.
Yeah, they were going to put this camera in your home so you can get facial recognition, and you can even unlock a door by just approaching the door.
Right.
It's kind of Back to the Future. Welcome home.
Right. Welcome home, Jennifer. Also, I think to really spend a lot of time talking about how their mobile processing is such an important detail to their roadmap. Like we said, everything that's wearable wants to get a low-powered CPU driving the functionality in a device like that. The smaller you can make it, the less power it demands, because that's a big problem with wearables.
Yeah.
The battery life on these things is usually terrible. Get that chip small, get it powerful, and have that voltage be so low. It's really going to be interesting to see what applications it's used for.
Yeah, if you have a jacket with cameras on it that are that sensitive, and it's definitely going to be something that doesn't last very long. But maybe they can get that to be somewhere to a new level. Smart home, another big topic here.
Absolutely.
Cameras, we're talking a little bit about what Intel was doing with being able to have facial recognition software. There's this one smart home camera that I don't know if they have it right just yet. Netimo has one that it can sense who is home by, I guess you would just sit this by the door somewhere.
Right.
And it'll see who in your family came home and keep track, but it's also supposed to keep track of who left. Problem is, you can't look at it to say you're gone, because then it thinks you're here. So it just kind of guesses that you've gone because it hasn't seen you for a while.
Right. So is it? And the first time I heard about this, I was like, all right, well maybe they have facial recognition and then back of the head recognition or something like that, because you're going to be walking away from this thing. But I don't know. Anytime there is something that is specifically documenting when I'm in my house and out of my house, even if it's just information that's supposedly private to me, I'm nervous, and this sort of stuff is what freaks me out at CES.
Yeah, I'm nervous too, but then we already can do this pretty well with geofencing on our smartphones. I mean,
Right.
people are using that with apps already, so I think they're trying to solve a problem that is causing a bigger problem.
Right. And I'm trying to understand where the security label comes into this.
Yeah.
I don't feel secure with the camera knowing
want
when
your
I'm
home
coming.
watching you at all times?
No. I want to watch my home, not the other way around.
Well, something a little more peaceful is probably the new plant sensor from Parrot.
Finally. How many plants have I killed? How many plants have you killed?
I've killed a couple, actually.
I'm like, it's like plant homicide in my house. So check this thing out. It's describe. Do you know exactly how this thing works?
Yeah, you just basically stick it into the soil of whatever plant. You tell it what plant it is, so it knows what kind of nutrition it should be getting based on the kind of plant it is. And you pop in a water bottle on top. Here they have a water bottle just screwed on top. So when you're away, like for a week at CES, you won't kill your plant next
Right,
time.
exactly.
And it'll just, give it a little squirt.
Only the best water for those plants. Smart water.
Of course. They have a pot that can do the same thing too, but the pot's more of an investment. They haven't given the price yet for these things or when it's coming out exactly.
The next version should be, like there's a lot of people who say you should talk to your plants. You should say like nurturing things
Oh
to
my
your
God,
plants.
is there going to be a video chat with my
Some
plant?
sort of like constant positive emotional, speech to a plant, I think is the next iteration
People
for
are
this
doing
parrot.
that with their dogs
Yeah.
and their drop cams.
Why not?
They're talking to their dogs. Might as well talk to your plant
Absolutely, I'm on board. And only smart water. None of this Poland Spring nonsense.
No.
Only smart water for these plants.
now. What else have you seen, Jeff?
I'm really impressed with, impressed is maybe a generous word. I want to talk about the Sony Walkman.
Oh, yeah.
So I over the last couple years, I've become somewhat of an audiophile. I am very passionate about great sounding music, no compression. I'm a big FLAC head. And I'm taking a look at this ZX2, and I'm like, wow, they really went kind of nutso with this Walkman. It's $1,100. I don't know if...
I can't see, even if you love music, I just,
Exactly.
I can't.
To justify spending $1,100 on a music player seems kind of crazy. There's other products on the market that will do similar things. Like even my G3 can play FLAC. It's not really something that it struggles with. So I wonder where the justification to spend $1,100. I get it. It's part of the Sony ecosystem, and there's
There's a lot of talk about high definition audio now, and
Right.
I think consumers are going, wait, that's the thing. I mean, even though some people really are into it who are into music, but I
Sure.
think in general, we're just now getting to just touch on it.
Right. And I mean, if you value fidelity, you're probably familiar with something like FLAC already.
Yeah.
And you have no doubt realized already you don't need an $1,100 portable device to do something like that. And now there's streaming FLAC services like Tidal, they're coming on the scene. So it's one of those weird things, like where does an $1,100 proprietary Sony player come into all this?
But they can do it, and that's why it's here, because they just want to show that they can do it.
It's a lot of we're doing it because we can at CES.
always
For
like that,
sure.
right?
For sure.
But got to keep that Walkman alive.
Absolutely.
It also holds a lot of emotion, just like Palm does.
I mean, it's that brand. It's that legacy
Yeah.
brand that we all grew up with. It just won't go away, for better or worse. USB has gotten an update at CES as well.
It's just funny that the small, awkward things are so exciting.
It
but,
is.
But it's the most useful. So, explain this.
We were talking about this yesterday, and as the words were coming out of my mouth, I was like, "You're too excited about USB, Jeff." But I am, because 3.1 is an upgrade to 3.0, and you have the faster speed, faster read write. But what's really fantastic is the aesthetic. No more will you have to fumble around in your USB port, because 3.1 has no prejudice against up or down, left or right. Just plug that in there. You're fine.
No-
Whatever direction
no
you're
more
facing.
fussing and fumbling.
Because like I was telling Donald Bell yesterday, it doesn't matter which side. It's always going to be the wrong one when you plug that thing in. So now you don't have to worry about any of that. 3.1 is here to save your computing convenience. I embrace it with open arms.
It's a great thing when you have an Apple product now. All the chargers, they just work both ways.
Right.
So I guess it's coming to USB. People would catch on to that.
USB 3.2, magnetize that.
There
And
you
then
go.
we're done.
just walk away.
That's it. Plug it in, walk away.
this whole day has been pretty interesting with a lot of the quirky gadgets being shown off.
Yeah.
And I got to take a walk around. Their washing machines are the big thing again too, which is awkward because at CES you don't typically think of a big washing machine to be the big thing.
For sure.
People are still buzzing about that. It's the LG dual washer,
Right.
where the bottom can
A
have
wash within a wash.
a dual load,
It's
if
wash
you will.
inception.
Yes.
Right.
You can to actually buy the bottom washer separately. You don't have to buy the 2-in-1.
Right.
And you can attach it to other different types of LG washers when it comes out later this year. But they didn't say the price. But it sounds like it could be like just $300 for that bottom one, even if
Sure.
you wanted to.
I mean, if you're gonna wash your bottom, you should wash your top also. I think should come together like
Thanks for that tip, Jeff.
It's it's a handy CES tip.
And then Samsung has a sink inside of its washer. Everyone's putting something in the washer. So they have like a sink on top that just sits there to hand
Sure.
wash things. Not seeing a lot of screens in the washers or screens in the fridges anymore. I think we're walking away from that tech for the sake of tech.
Right.
And maybe now it's just a little bit more useful for...
I always thought though that there was a platform for using a screen in a refrigerator where you could have this sort of display that tells you all the food in your fridge. Like if everything just had RFID tags, like
Are
your
you that
bologna.
lazy?
No.
You just can't,
Yes.
like, open it?
First of all, yes. That goes without saying. Now, but I really wish there was a way to like tag all my food, and then the refrigerator says, "Oh, Jeff, here's all your ingredients. Here's what you can make. You can make some chicken parm. You can make like a lasagna
You know
situation."
who's going to do that? Amazon's going to do that.
Amazon.
They're going to figure out a way
They're
to...
already my refrigerator.
Yeah, they're already going to figure out a way. Like, we will order it for you. Thank you for all your
sure.
information.
But don't you think this is the year that maybe perhaps all of these smart appliances will break through in a way that has just sort of, maybe gone from this little niche sort of enthusiast consumer profile to something that I think a lot of people are now interested in because it's broken into the mainstream.
Yeah, and they're also talking with more main hubs in the home. With Google's Nest, a lot of products came out saying that they talk with Nest. And Nest is that smart thermostat, and they also own the smart smoke detector too. But a lot of separate companies are saying, you know what, we'll be able to talk to Nest, whether it's your washing machine, it's your home security camera, it's your door lock, so it knows when you come and go.
Right.
That'll change the temperature. And now everyone's also talking about Siri, because even though Apple's never at the show, they always somehow become a topic of the show, where a lot of companies are saying we're going to have our smart home products work with Siri. And we see that in a garage door opener, we see that in a door lock, and also, what was the other one? There's always like a couple. It's on top of my head. But anyways, everyone wants to
Some
work with
air
Siri.
filtration situation,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
probably.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it.
I
huh?
think we hit a lot of the main
We
topics,
did.
but it's still
We
going
nailed
on.
it. It
It's still
is.
going on. We're going to be back tomorrow, and on Thursday we're going to be coming at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. We're going to keep highlighting the latest buzz of the show, so you got to keep watching too here at ces.cnet.com today and tomorrow for live coverage from our show stage. Thanks for joining us. Up next, we're going to have the Focus Motion, so stay tuned.